I find music a useful distraction. A focus tool. Keeps the inner voice from wandering.
Hey film friends, I'm Nick Furman. This is Furman On Film. Welcome to the channel. Look, here is a film about a seemingly cold, principled, calculating, and meticulously precise hitman made by a seemingly cold, principled, calculating, and meticulously precise director. This is Fincher's The Killer. All right, I think whatever else you want to say about The Killer, you have to acknowledge that it's a film about control. I said it at the jump. This is a man who lives by a code where he claims no allegiance, no moral scruples, or moral considerations. It's all about the job, and doing the job right requires a fastidious attention to detail. Now look, many of us have seen those Fincher shorts and little commentary bits. The dude who shoots the same sequence 200 times for just the right reaction. Or yells at a set decorator to turn a lamp 10 degrees to the left in the background of a shot. The synergy and symbiosis between Fassbender's character and the director is definitely critical here. But so is the unfolding of this deeper theme about losing control. This is driven home most clearly in The Killer's final moments, in this discussion between being one of the few, unfeeling perfectionists, or one of the many. You know, people who would believe a lie or two in order to have a more peaceful existence. I also think that there's some subtle to not so subtle commentary on corporatism and consumer culture going on here as well. As we said, every detail in a Fincher flick is planned, so the visual references to Amazon, McDonald's, Starbucks are interesting. This reminded me a lot of IKEA and the like in Fight Club. And I believe this is some kind of reference to how personal identity can get swallowed up by work and business, how destructive all of this can be. But I'm honestly not completely sure what the message is here, so I'd love to hear your theories in the comments. We can chat about it there. See, I think about 90% of directors would make this a standard assassin's journey flick with brawny action and stupid goons. But this one is much more of a tone poem. Almost every word of Fassbender's dialogue comes in the form of voiceover, and almost all of these are self-help mantras tied to work. Yet this is broken up by these extremely well-written scenes between the killer and each of the ones involved in the comeuppance after the botched hit. Now the really fascinating thing is that Fassbender does almost none of the talking in these scenes. So the takeaway for me was just how remarkable a lead performance this is in terms of facial acting, deadpan expressions, and almost drone-like monologuing. And there are some other things to recommend this one too. How about this? The Smiths rule, and recasting some of their song titles and lyrics in these murderous scenes was really amusing. And Reznor and Ross are back again with this sleek, pulsing score. And though this isn't really an action-driven vehicle, the hand-to-hand combat scene is unreal in terms of sound design and staging. And for a film that's so bleak and dour, I know, shocker in a Fincher film, there are some really funny, wry comments here. Which again, these witty asides are all basically just Fincher inserting himself into the film. And I've got to say, I love the ending with its own subversions that reframe what went before. I feel like the biggest criticism I've been seeing about this one is that this just isn't top-shelf Fincher. They're not finding deeper themes about a man who's losing his grip on control or becoming increasingly unreliable in his narration. And I have to say, I agree to an extent. I would not put this anywhere near his very best pictures. And I do think some have really gone to great lengths to find deeper readings of a story which may just be like a sleek thriller genre flick that slaps. But I do think that this film is constructed very purposefully. David Fincher, like any great director, is a show don't tell guy. So he's not just gonna come out and say, hey, here's a guy who may be changing his stripes, losing his grip, wondering if he can still hold fast to that forbid empathy mantra at all costs, no matter what. Instead, this message unfolds through the narrative and these key conversations. Also, listen, this film is really not about plot. We know where a lot of this is going in the first 15 minutes. It's like if Kill Bill were replaced with precision and wryness instead of spunk and vivacity. So if you're looking for over-the-top violence or some standard Assassin's flicks tropes, this one is probably not for you. So, what do we conclude? The Killer is a sleek, stylish, and engaging thriller. It's a work of art that perhaps more closely resembles its creator than anything David Fincher has ever made before. Featuring a stunning turn by the focused and effective Michael Fassbender, and offering proof positive that even a lesser work from a maestro can still pack one hell of a punch. Well, there you have it. The only thing left to discuss is our rating for this film. FOF gives The Killer 4.1 out of 5 stars. If you enjoyed this review, please let us know by giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. Also, don't forget to visit FurmanOnFilm.com for even more movie content. Thanks for watching. I'm Nick Furman. This is Furman on Film. Stay firm, my friends.